Well, hello, friends. It's been a while. I feel like I haven't said that in forever. I have a tiny mic now. Isn't that fun? I hope this works better and that you can hear me. And hopefully, my ADHD doesn't kick in and I don't start like clicking this because knowing me, I will. Um, anyways, hi, friends. Well, welcome back or welcome to Brittany Likes Bookies, where we keep it cute, keep it classy, and we definitely keep it diverse. And I've been gone a month. We'll get into that. I promise. Do not fret. I will. Um, but today we are going to be talking about You Found Oliver by Dustin Thao. If you know me, you know that I love You've Reached Sam. So I did a little reading vlog for you. This comes out on Tuesday, 9:30, September 30th, and I can't wait to talk about it. So let's get into it. We're gonna do an intro and then I'll do some outros. But let's get into it. So let's talk about You Found Oliver. That is what we are talking about today. I'm also gonna have clips after this. And excuse me, of me doing a cute little reading vlog of it. But I figured I'd intro the book and talk about it, show you the gorgeous PR package that I got from Penguin Teen, who was so generous to gift it to me, and I am so thankful. But I'm also going to talk about You've Reached Sam really, really quickly. This is the first book by Dustin Thao. This is his debut, and I fell in love with it. This book ruined me in the best way, and I'm obsessed. Literally obsessed. Like, you would have to pry this from my cold dead hands. I think Dustin has a beautiful way of talking about grief. And I love the magic realism that he brings into his books. Ugh, I could talk about this all day. Also, I'm going to apologize up front if excuse me, if I seem a little breathless. When I think I talked about this in my last video. When I went on my vacation and came back, I found out that I had COVID and pneumonia, and I have suffered with symptoms post COVID. We're about 8 weeks since my last positive test, and I unfortunately was diagnosed with long COVID, and it has been a struggle. So I do struggle with my breathing still. It's a work in progress. Anyways, so I read his debut as an ARC and fell in love with it. This is the special paperback edition. For some reason, I can't find my hard copy. So he also has another book called When Haru Was Here, which is also fantastic. But when I heard that Dustin was doing a companion to Reach Sam called You Found Oliver, I almost lost my shit. I'm not even gonna lie. I try not to curse in these videos, but I lost it. Like, I was so excited to dive back into this. I loved Oliver. You do meet Oliver and You've Reached Sam, but I will say that you don't need to read You've Reached Sam in order to read You Found Oliver. I think they both stand alone by themselves. I think it just gives you a little bit more background into Oliver if you do read You've Reached Sam. You could do it either way. I will recommend reading You've Reached Sam, but that's because I'm insufferable and love that book and want to force everyone to read it. So I'm fortunate and very lucky to be in Penguin Teens Influencer Program. So when they started talking about You Found Oliver, I think I begged in the comments of every form that they sent. And I, I think they obliged me. They sent not only the ARC over, but it came in this gorgeous, and I'm not going to show you my address, this gorgeous box. And like, it is just stunning. I loved everything about it. I'm going to open it up for you. Look how cute. And it came with this really cute letter and just kind of talking about it from Dustin. And it came with a gorgeous little notepad that says You Found Oliver on the bottom. And it also came with a You Found Oliver pen. And I've never been so fortunate to get a box in my life. I literally may have screamed when it arrived. But that's because I have no chill. So before we get into all of the clips of me reading through this, I figured I would read you the blurb for You Found Oliver. You've reached Sam was a best-selling sensation and an emotional wrecking ball. Now it's best friend Oliver's turn to tell his story in a sliding doors romance sure to break your heart wide open. And the top is just 2 text messages that say, I think about you every second, but it's time to let you go. And the blurb explains, but it's been a year since his best friend Sam died. Even though Oliver knows he won't get a response, he can't stop texting Sam's number, especially as the anniversary of his death approaches. Then one day he accidentally hits the call button and someone picks up. The voice on the other end isn't Sam. Sam's number was reassigned, and a stranger has been receiving Oliver's private and vulnerable messages for months. But Ben, a college student in Seattle, won't remain a stranger for long. Oliver knows he should stop communicating now that he knows the truth, but he can't get Ben out of his head. So that's the blurb. And the 2 text messages were Sam or Oliver sending them to Sam. So now that you've got the gist, and also this cover is gorgeous. I can't get over it. Like I'm literally obsessed. And the deluxe packaging is so beautiful. But now that we have done this, let's roll into all of the clips of me reading it, and you can see my reactions. Then at the end, we'll come back and I will discuss all my thoughts and feelings. Oh my god, friends, hi. You've already seen the intro at this point, so yeah, I don't know if this will be my first video back or not. I'm likely gonna film a different one before this, but I figured a reading vlog for You Found Oliver would be really, really fun. If you know me, you know that I have spent a lot of time and I have joked multiple times in Dustin's comments about how You've Reached Sam literally wrecked me in like the best way. I found that book at a time, and it was years later, but it came out around a year in like one of the anniversaries of my grandfather's death, and like I so deeply understood Julie and like her motivations and how she felt about that. But it is such a beautiful book. It's like really, really close to my heart. So when Penguin and Dutton sent this over, it's this gorgeous box. I'm gonna show the box and everything. I died, and now that release day is approaching, I finally dove into this. We're gonna talk in real words today. I'm about 50 pages in. I'm on chapter 3. There's a prologue. It's so good so far. I just love the way that Dustin is able to like capture you with the littlest things. The prologue was literally perfect. And I'm sorry if in the background you hear a movie. I've watched this movie I think 5 times now. But The Wrong Paris on Netflix with Miranda Cosgrove and Pearson Fode is incredible, especially if you love capo romances and you're like needing a new fix. Go watch The Wrong Paris. Anyways, okay, back to You Found Oliver. He also has another book when Haru was here, which was really good too. I'm really loving this though, and I love the concept. I also like one of my favorite things, and he's talked about this a little bit, is he dedicated this to 2 of his friends, Chloe Gong and Alex Astor, because it was inspired by them like going to the wrong restaurant. I'm like, I think that's really cool, like a really fun nod to them. Obviously both Chloe and Alex are also very successful and great writers. But I will keep you updated. I am really loving this. I just met the love interest. His name is Ben. And I'm really enjoying this. I love the text messages, and I love the idea behind that like you want to hold on to that. And texting a friend who's passed, like you do it out of like a comfort, and like I understand that, and I think it's a really, really great concept. So far I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm loving it. It's been so much fun. I believe it comes out September 30th if I'm not mistaken, so I'm gonna try to post this before then, but yes. Alrighty, you found Oliver, and I'm loving it so far, so we will check back in when I've read some more. Okay, friends, I am about 117 pages into it. We're about halfway. This is so fun, and I'm loving all of like the hilarious like thinking they're missing each other when they finally meet up. Like it's so cute. Oh, it's still emotional because like you do see him talk about Sam, and like that kind of like their friendship and how it's different now and all of that. I also relate to Oliver because like I felt like I was kind of like drifting in college. Granted, like I knew what I wanted to do, but I don't know. I just relate to him, like that ability to like feel like you don't have a ton of friends, blah blah blah, like that kind of thing. Very much related to him. It was great. So yeah, I'm loving this. I'm probably gonna get another chunk done. But I'm also on my Kindle reading by invitation only, which is really good. I'm about halfway through that as well. But this is so good. This is so good. I'm loving this so much. It's so sweet and so nice, and I can't wait to read more. I just finished You Found Oliver. I don't know what Dustin does this, but he has this ability to make you feel like you are actually the main character in the way that he writes. Like, I felt feelings wise like I literally was Oliver and I was going through what he was going through. This was incredible. Incredible. I loved. I don't want to give it away because we know I don't do spoilers in any of my videos. I loved the way that this was connected to You've Reached Sam, a book that literally still to this day is a piece of my heart. I loved Oliver. I loved Ben. I loved getting to see Julie again. I loved the talk about like time and alternate timelines and if there's multiple threads, and philosophy has always fascinated me. But like the idea that you could be in another universe or in another timeline and things are completely different is so fascinating to me, and I love the way that Dustin incorporated that into You Found Oliver. I loved the relationship between Ben and Oliver. I thought it was so sweet, and I love that Julie and Oliver ended up becoming such great friends, and like that's really heartwarming to me, especially after watching like a show like The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I mean even My Life with the Older Boys, and like you're dealing with young teens and young adults learning and navigating grief and how to handle that. And as somebody who was young and lost someone really important to them, I mean, I've never really talked about it much, but I lost my grandpa when I was 18 and my dad's dad, and he was one of my best friends. He's the person that I trust most in the world, and I truly loved him, and he was everything to me. And I think I've explained it a little bit when I originally reviewed You've Reached Sam and talked about it, but the day that he passed, he called me that morning, and I've been super sick. I want to say I had mono. Might have been mono and pneumonia. Like I was really sick. I was at the University of Alabama, and he had called me that morning, and I missed his call. And to this day, like I understood Julie's feeling of like feeling like you never got that last, like, you know, like I was like I ended up texting herself and I was like, hey, you know, like I'll call you later. I'm sleeping. I'm not feeling great. And I never got to. So like that's always stuck with me. And Oliver's kind of like feeling that like I talked about this in the blurb, how he's like still texting Sam's phone number, and like because it makes him feel closer to him, and I understand that. Like I wrote down a lot what I was feeling and what I would tell my grandpa, or like I would go into a quiet room and just talk to him, or And like, so I understood that. I understood wanting to still feel connected. And everyone handles grief differently. Like, grief is very fickle. I kind of go into this a little bit, and the first book I actually ever wrote, it's being rewritten, but I talk about it because one of the my female main characters' dad passes, and she's like talking about grief and how like it's not easy, especially like for people this young. You know, when you're 18, 19 and you're losing somebody who's so close to you, it's hard. I also lost a friend in high school. I was a freshman, she was a junior, and she passed in a car accident. And it's hard. Like, we weren't best friends like Oliver and Sam were, um, but but she was a friend of mine, and like it hit me really hard. And when you're young and you know you're still developing and you're learning about grief, it's hard, and you're trying to navigate a world where someone you've cared about is no longer there. And I think Dustin navigates this very beautifully, and I love the magical realism that he brings into these books. Like, it's so sweet. And I think a part of me, like, because I did experience grief, you know, and lost that young, like, I see part of myself in these. You know, like I saw part of myself in Julia. I see part of myself in Oliver. You know, hell, I even see part of myself in Conrad and Jeremiah and Belly, and hell, even Jackie, or like any kind of, you know, like a young person going through grief and losing somebody. And I think that's what makes these books so special to me. And like, I understand not everyone will love them. That's fine. Reading is subjective. It's political, but it is subjective. But I think that's why I connect with them so much. And I think the way that Dustin is able to speak about that kind of grief, it's really poignant. And I understand it. And I feel it. And his writing is beautiful in the way that he crafts the ability to, I don't want to say compartmentalize, because you're not compartmentalizing your grief, but to be able to carry your grief but still move on and move forward and honor that person. And I truly, like, I really love this. I think it's fantastic, and I can't wait to see what Dustin does next. So like, I'm just obsessed with every cover of his books. Like, even Haru, when Haru was here, all of his covers are beautiful. Well, also when I do the outro for this, I know this was supposed to be a vlog. It's about 275 pages, so it's a little bit shorter. But it's a beautiful, beautiful story about grief and love and finding yourself as a young person while handling that grief, and the like discovery, or like the thought of philosophy and alternate timelines, and what it would be like to be in an alternate timeline and to see like how it affects things. And it's just it's really great. But yeah, I will probably be posting in the outro where I continue talking about this and go through the box and everything. And once again, thank Penguin Teen and Dutton for sending this my way. I am obsessed with this book. No one can tell me anything. Dustin is an auto-buy author for me, and if you've never read You've Reached Sam, I would definitely read that before you read this. It's not really necessary, but it would explain a lot. It is a companion, so again, not necessary, but I'd highly recommend it. It would give you some backstory, and it would make this hit a little bit harder. But they're both beautiful books, and I can't recommend them enough. So I will see you guys in the outro. I hope you've enjoyed all of my reactions as I read through You've Reached Sam. It is about 288, 290 pages, so it's a little shorter, which I don't really mind. It is a YA contemporary with a little bit of magical realism, similar to, obviously, You've Reached Sam, and I loved this. I gave it 5 stars. I I don't know if I loved it more than You've Reached Sam, because I found You've Reached Sam at a time, I think I talked about this in one of my clips, when I was still like in a pretty heavy grieving process of my grandfather. But this this was incredible. I did cry. No one is surprised by any of that information. And I truly, truly, I fell in love with it. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was one of the most engrossing books I've read in a really long time, especially with magical realism. I don't read a ton of those, so every time I get the chance to, I really, really enjoy it. It's a 5 star for me. I love Sam, obviously, and like the little tidbits that we get more about him. I loved seeing Julie again. I thought that was so fun. I loved that Oliver and Julie became friends. I think that's so sweet. I loved Oliver and Ben's relationship. And I don't like napping on spoilers, so I won't give any, but I really loved how the magical realism was incorporated into this. And I could not put it down. It was fantastic. I loved everything about it. I'm so excited for it to come out and to be insufferable telling people to read it. If you know me, you know I'm one of those people that when I love a book, you will know. And this is one of those books that I truly loved. I'm so glad that Dustin was able to like dive back into this world, and I the ending was just chef's kiss. I loved it. It was sweet, it was fun, and it was sentimental. It's poignant to be able to talk about young people and going through grief, and I think that's really important, especially for younger people, to see that like it's okay to struggle with grief. Grief is hard. And I mean, I was 18, 19 when I lost my grandfather, and I still to this day grieve, and I'm 32. So being able to like see other people and know that like it is really hard, especially when you lose a friend. Um, I've also been through that, so we won't truly get into it, but because I don't want to go off on a tangent and let the ADHD take effect. But this this really like it hit in a way that nothing like Dustin's books hit, and that's in a complimentary way. I love Dustin's voice. I love the way he writes, and I love that it was inspired, ironically, by his two friends. Actually, like ending up at the wrong restaurant. Like, I think that's such a fun premise to take it and then be able to expand on the world that he created. And You've Reached Sam is really, really fun, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much again to Penguin Teen Dutton for sending You Found Oliver my way. And since I'm posting this on Saturday, September 27th, I wanted to make sure I had the right day. I'm filming it on Friday, the rest of it, parts of it on Friday the 26th. Um, this comes out on Tuesday, September 30th. You will want to get it. Um, have tissues for sure. It definitely got me at times, but I really, really love this. I can't wait for people to read it, and I hope you love it as much as I do, truly. And thank you for sticking around and sticking with me. I know I don't post that frequently. Obviously, I kind of went into it a little bit earlier about what's been going on with me and my health. I've been going to a lot of doctor's appointments. I've been struggling. I'm really, really tired all the time. So, um, it's taken a lot out of me, but I'm going to sit down after this and film another video so that hopefully we have a couple, and it'll give me a little time so that I can film more. I'm trying to get back into YouTube and heavily filming. So the next video that I'm going to do is two of my favorite cowboy romances that I've read. I love getting to talk about them, and I can't wait to talk to you about them. So that will be the next video that comes after this. But I hope you enjoyed this fun little reading vlog and me talking about You Found Oliver by Dustin Thao. It comes out September 30th. Thank you again to Penguin Teen for sending me the ARC and the gorgeous box that it came in. I am so grateful. And I'm so glad that I got to adventure back into Oliver, Julie, and Sam's world. And I hope you guys love it too. So that's it. Anyways, I guess I should do what normal YouTubers do. I, if you liked this video, go ahead and like it. I don't know if you think I'm kind of funny or something. Feel free to subscribe. I'm here sometimes. I'm trying to be better about it. Please don't judge me. Feel free to share this with your friends. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, thanks for joining me. I'll see y'all later. Bye.